Welcome back to the Spoken Word Media, channel that makes modern media sexy, yeah. As much as we like to make modern media sexy, sometimes life isn't sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Big up to the old subscribers. Big up to the new subscribers. Um, if you haven't watched the last video I did on Michael Ward being arrested on some hate or serious allegations, go and check the video out. Watch it, like it as well. But we're on the road to 1K, and then it's to 10K, and it's to 100K, and it's to a million, and it's to a billion, and then once we take off the whole Earth, we go through the next to the moon, the planet, every planet, and the whole galaxy and the universe, wherever you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say, the reason why this intro is a bit all over the place is because this is like very much a spur of the moment video. But I've been busy today. Like I got my yeah, man. Let's just get. I just want to say this. Got my beard trimmed earlier on. Had to run a few errands. I still got to do some things tonight. I had a big week this week. Big weekend. Big weekend. My parents' 25th wedding anniversary as well. So I just got to make sure I was doing a lot of running around, all that kind of stuff, and it's just a bit overwhelming. But man, my problem is I feel like I got robbed today in slow motion. Like I've never seen. I wasn't happy earlier on. Like things are just too expensive, man. Too expensive, too expensive. Like, do you understand? Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Like, it's just not normal. Not normal. Yeah, I'm complaining in this video. I'm complaining because I feel like I've got the right to complain. I've literally watched my bank balance get drained in slow motion. Yeah? Who remembers? Oh my god, we got to talk about this. Who remembers, yeah? So, these are the things I did today. I had to withdraw 10 earlier on to go to, first of all, I went to my barber's, yeah? And to be fair, my barber's my main barber, shit. See what I mean? I'll be a bad cheater, man. See, I just confessed to cheating on my barber. I only done it once here and there. I don't mean anything by it, but sometimes at least I'm honest, this happened, bro. But like, I was so happy to see my barber today. Because the other week, for some reason, they weren't there, and I went and I spent £13 just to get a trim, a beard shaper. Yeah. Today, I went there and paid £8. I remember when barbers was £5 back in like 2013. You could pay it for £5. Who remembers them days? Yeah, I do. I was 15 years old. Yeah, I was 15 years old. I remember it was like £5. Yeah, I could get you to do that. You can't do that these days. But I paid 8, and that was for a haircut. And at one point it made it up to £7 something. And now I'm paying 8. I pay £8 for just a little beard trim. Now the haircut I see on their list like £22 something. Yeah, not applicable to me because I got long hair, don't care. But it's just the facial hair that I see them for at the moment as it stands. Yeah, I'm telling you, I ain't cut my hair until I'm 40. Yeah, that's what the next time I cut my hair. Yeah, hopefully I have all my hair by then. You know what I mean? Times are so stressful at the moment. Hopefully I still won't have hair at 40. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but with God's grace, I'll have hair at 40. I'd rather go grey than go bald. I've always said that. Yeah. Grey ting, I probably could pull it off. Bald ting, nah, never. And then I went to get hiccups. Jeez. Went to get some petrol. You know what I pay for that? 20 Great British Pounds. 20 GP. 20 Great British Pound. Petrol. Yeah? Petrol. I had 0 bars in my I can't even. I had 0 bars, and now it's got me half a tank. I remember before that would have got me a full tank, or just under a full tank. Yeah, I had like 50. I think I had like 20 miles left before I topped it up. So it was on 0 bars, like 20 miles left in my tank, and it took me to 165 miles when I put the £20 in. Took to half a tank. You pay more for less. Inflation, man. Then, so I got petrol. And then I drove to Superdrug. So, yeah, I parked my car and went to Superdrug. Yeah? I bought some body cream and some hay fever medicine. Yeah? Hay fever is peak. Yeah? But this hay fever is now expensive. Do you understand? That cream and hay fever medicine, it cost me another 21 pounds something pence. Yeah? Got that now. Literally, after that, I walked down quite far down the road, and I went to a hair store and got some like hair stuff for me, and some spray and some oil. That cost me like another 20 or £20. So I've spent the best part of almost 80, I would say £78, no, 60, almost £70 in the last in 2 hours. That's literally, I feel like I got robbed in slow motion. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, I literally got robbed in slow motion. And I just felt, I was so upset, bro. Like, I called my mum. I was like, Mum, this is not normal. It's not right. Do you know what I'm saying? Big man me, like, calling my mum, like, to say, like, Mum, this is not right, man. Ain't right. You understand? It's not right at all, man. I think people, you know what it is? When people first talk to me about things that are expensive, do I feel people kind of exaggerate sometimes? Yes, I do. They do feel like I think, and the reason why I say exaggerate, because at the end of the day, I actually agree with people. Things are expensive, things are costing a lot, wages not going up, blah blah blah. But then again, you know what's so mad? People always find money to finance expensive cars though. So let's be real. I'm seeing so much 20 something plate, 24 plate, 25 plate, 23 plate, 22, even 21 plate. Some of them are EV cars, electric. Some of them are not electric, but they're new plate cars as well, under the same brand. Nice, big, clean whips. Do you know what I'm saying? People, no matter, do you know what it is? No matter what economy we're in, yeah, people always find time to finance these cars they can't afford somehow. Like, I don't know, it's undefeated for some reason. Yeah, I'm going to say, oh, but it's the word's finance. Yeah, but finance, I think the average car payment a year is like £300 a month or something. Like, that's what, like 3.6. That's 3 grand 600 a year. 3 grand 600 a year. That's not even including car insurance, petrol. I've never financed a car before, so I don't know. But I take it that's not including insurance, right? Or petrol, road tax, depending on everyone's road tax. My road tax is expensive, which is unfortunate, yeah. But like, yeah, and also MOT. Well, if your car's 3 years old, you ain't got to pay MOT for 3 years, yeah. But what's the other one? Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, but just general maintenance of the car. Do you know what I'm saying? So people always find the money for that, which I always found was amazing, isn't it? But that's how they want you, man. That's how you get in some negative, like, and if you can't pay them repayments, oi, boy, don't let them pay them repayments, oi. It's peak. But you know, these days they say 100 grand is not rich anymore. Yeah, it makes sense in a way, and everyone's circumstances are different. So I think what's 100 grand after tax? That's what, around 67, 68 grand take home pay after I'm assuming you're what PAYE, so pay as you earn, and you what's that gonna be, income tax and national insurance. So those taxes together, we're looking at around 67, 68 take home pay. And I let you live in London and have kids. Oh, I haven't expected. Oh, you know it is like, again, I said, as much as things happen, there is a few exaggerations, but people are not living within their means at the same time. Yeah, but like I've just done some like I was doing some kind of like I looked this up. I did this the other day, and I was very curious to know. Um, Here's the thing: if you was on 100K in 2005, you was a baller. So, as you can see, 100 grand salary in 2005, yeah, would have roughly the same purchasing power as 191 grand 010.38p in 2025 due to inflation in the UK. This represents a significant increase in a nominal salary needed to maintain the same standard of living over those 2 decades. Yeah? And I did the same thing for so that's like AI overview. And even in 2015, you was doing all right. That was only 10 years ago. That was my first year at college. 100 grand salary in 2015 would have roughly the same purchasing power as 141 grand 815 .85 in 2025. See, who's now that's 10 years ago. Whose salaries are rising? I go with 100 grand because I think we love using 100 grand, even though that's not most people's salary. We love using 100 grand. I think there's something about the first 6-digit number why we like to look at those things. But what, 100 grand 10 years ago, and according to that overview, assume it's accurate. If it's 141 grand to keep up the same standard of living as only 10 years ago, what? So you're looking at a 41 grand increase in your salary to keep up the same standard, not more, the same standard, yeah? Well, whose salary really goes up by 40k in 10 years? Generally. Doesn't happen, does it? That's just far and few between. And in 20 years as well, like again, back in 2005, so that's 20 years. I like to use 10 years as a good baseline sometimes to see it. Because it's a nice number, 10 years, isn't it? It's a decade. So 191 grand, so you've got to be on almost 200 grand to get the same standard of living if you was on 100,000 in 2005. So that's how times were different. So 100 grand is not 100 grand of yesterday and yesteryear. It's peak, man. It's peak, bro. This is why a lot of people at the same time, I see people are miserable. People are at the same time like, I don't know, man, people are crashing out. People don't want to have, people ain't having kids. The birth rate's going down. Schools are closing. It's all a mess, bruv. It's all a mess, bruv. Like, it's all a mess. I know, like, real talk, man. Like, honestly, I had to get this off my chest because I'm like, wow. Things are really like this. Because I live in London, right, as well. But we use London because it's the capital, the country, it's the benchmark. Everyone knows London. When you need to talk about things, you've got to talk about London because everyone knows London. Like everyone in their dog knows what London is. Yeah, there's no point mentioning next places because some people may know them, some will just not have no idea, depending on how niche and far we go. But we use London because it's like the place that's like that's our thing. So we use but bro, like 100. So I just swore. Didn't mean to swear, but not monetized anyway, so it don't really matter. But you know, I don't like to really swear that much. So I can avoid it if I can. But like real talk, man. I felt robbed. I checked my bank balance 4 times. I was like, this ain't right. Ain't normal at all. I remember there's a place called for those that went to my school, if they're watching, there's a local place called London Pizza. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Yeah, London Pizza, which is near my old secondary school. in 2014, I'm probably 15, but I say 2014 because when I think I first went there. Not that I go there often because obviously I'm into the fitness thing. But sometimes like a little bit of wings and chips and that greasy, and you want that burger sauce. I remember that you could get 6 wings and chips and a drink. See, my go-to order, shout out, see, these things are now vintage now. My go-to, well not go-to, but I had it a lot. When I did go, I liked it. 6 wings and chips and a ginger beer, so a canned drink, any can, but I used to do that. £2, yeah. So imagine that £10, yeah, would have got me 5 lots or 6 wings and chips and a drink. Five lots of that, yeah. Imagine you're a family man in 2014, which is 11 years ago, and you had the man, wife, and you had 3 kids, and you all wanted exactly the same thing. £10 would have got the man, the husband, 6 wings and chips and a drink, the wife, 6 wings and a drink, and the 3 kids each 6 wings, chips, and a drink for £10. £10. Oh my god! Sometimes you never appreciate these things until you look back in time. Yeah, that's not worth the same thing. £10 is not what £10 was before, and you start to see it. You start to see it, man. I'm like, wow, man. Like things have really, really changed. And this was after I took my GCSEs and all that kind of stuff when I was doing that. But crazy, man, crazy times ahead. Crazy times ahead. Anyway, guys, what do you think needs to be done? Like, what salary do you think people need to be on to live comfortably? You see all these videos on social media, your Emma Finance interviews, I think Politics or Joe, all these other stuff. What salary do you think people? Okay, what do you think the minimum salary that everyone could be on to at least live? I don't want to say luxury. Luxury is not normal. Most people never live luxury, but just a reasonable standard where people are gonna be content at the bare minimum. Yeah, they could get by, providing that they are sensible with their finances in 2025 in London. Yeah, let me know in your comment section below what you think that could be. Yeah, what's the minimum that you think, or what's the minimum you think that you think you can do okay at average, live your average life. Yeah, because a lot of people, some people say they need 100k minimum, and that's not to do luxury like I mentioned in 2015 or even 2005, which was a lot different then. Yeah, because it's 20 years ago now, but they're saying that as a baseline, just a baseline to get by in London. And I used to think, when I first heard it, I used to think that people clearly mismanaging their money. Because I remember we did a podcast on this channel, 2023 ago, Spoken Word podcast. We did a video about that, about money and saving, and we did a little video about a show about that kind of stuff. But 100k now, and remember, that's different. That's assuming that you're single. You're a single person. You only got yourself to worry about. What about if you've got kids and a family and all that kind of stuff? These things, there's levels to this. Like, some people could be on the same salary, but the circumstances are different because they got different obligations and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, basic obligations. Like, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, bro, like, we as humans are entitled to be able to reproduce. Obviously, I think if you're having 10 kids in this day and age, you're a fool, if I'm honest. Like, even if you do live good, because why do you need to do that? If this is not like 19 not, do you know what I mean? It's not 1915 or 1920 when, and that kind of stuff, so you don't really need to be doing that. But you know what I'm trying to say, yeah? But like, even like 2, 3 kids, or 4 kids, like 3 kids, what do people need? What do people need? But man, times ahead where people need to be investing their money to beat inflation. Yeah, I'll talk about that another day, but people need to be investing their money, because savings, not just cutting it, you've got to be investing, even if it's small amounts. Just got to try and beat the inflation rate. But yeah, that's for like another day, innit? But anyway, guys, like this video, subscribe if you like the content around here. Remember, road to 1000k. Yeah, support the channel, the spoken word media. It's your boy Javen, J-O, J the Media, and I'm signing out.
Peace.